Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dennis Lattis, and I'm here to do a quick presentation on roots and exponents with the TI30XS. This is a lesson specifically for GED students trying to pass their GED test. Let's get into it. The first slide talks to us about the button or the key that is directly next to the number 7 to the left. And the main key is the square key, meaning that you can race to the second power. It's a shortcut, so you can do that. So for example, let me go to my calculator here, and if I was to do 5 and then hit that key there, I automatically get my square. Hit enter and get my answer. Now the key to the top, the green, that's activated with the second button, the second key, is the square root key. This is specifically just for square roots. And that one's activated by hitting or pressing on the second key and then pressing on that same key again, the x squared, but now because second is activated, then we can go ahead and get the root. So say for example, I was looking for like the square root of 25, and that'll be 5. So this key here is going to be very useful for a shortcut for the square or the second power, and then the root is the one to the top. Now let's talk about the one that's above that, which is the arrow or the up arrow key. The up arrow key is actually really cool because it allows you to input any power that you would like. Say for example, I had 5. This time I have to raise it to the third power. I can't use the square key anymore. That's because that's specifically just to the second power. So if I wanted to do 5 to the third power, I would do 5. I will press on this up arrow key and then I input the power that I want, in this case 3. Hit enter, it's 125. And you can do that with any number. 5 to the 4th, enter. 5 to the 5th, hit, 5 to the 5th. And there it is. So you can do any exponent that you like. It's a really cool key to use and it gives you access to be able to get to answers faster. Now the key above is the any root. So in the GED, we're gonna focus highly on the cube and square root. So this is a little bit of a trick here. You need to tell the calculator first what the root's gonna be. And like I said, we're only gonna be doing with the square root, so you'll be using the other button for that. But for the cube root, the first thing you wanna do is go ahead and press on 3. That is gonna give you the cube root for this one. And then you press on the second key. You go to the up arrow, which also activates that any root function. And as you can see, when I press it, I get that root or cube root in this case, and say I was looking for the cube root of 27, and that is equal to 3. So again, the way that I did that was I first pressed on the 3, I then activated the any root key, and then I inputted my value and hit enter, and I was able to get that. Okay, so that's pretty much it when it comes down to, oh, and look at this guy. This has the wrong side. Let me actually, that one's supposed to be right there, right? It was supposed to be that key right there. So the up arrow key again is gonna give you access to any power, and the any root key will give you access to any root. All right, let's try some exercises here. Go ahead and pause the video and do A through F. This is funny, it has a bunch of D, E, F. This is supposed to be F, G. I was just doing this right before this. G, and then H. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, right? All right, so let's get to it. Let's go ahead and, like I said, pause the video and then come back to it to check out the answers. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on them now. I went ahead and selected the number 12 so you can see what happens when we have the different powers. There's something really interesting that happens when we put a 0 and we put a -1 and when we put a 1. So check, I want to put 12 and I'm going to raise that to the 0 power. Guess what do you think I'm going to get? A lot of people think it's 0, but when you hit enter, check it out, you get 1. Anything actually to the 0 power will always be 1. It could be any number. It will always be 1. Okay, let's check out the next one. 12 to the 1 power. What do you think that's going to be? 12 to the first or to the 1 power, it's going to be the same thing. So whenever you raise it to a 1 power, it doesn't matter what the number is. If you raise it to the 1 power, it will always be 1. Sorry, the same number. The 1 is actually when you have it to the 0 power. Now 12 to the negative 1, let's go ahead and try that one. We have, first let me go ahead and clear. And let's say 12, open, or give me access to the exponent, to negative here, and negative 1. And now what happens is the 12 becomes part of the denominator. So whenever you have a negative exponent, or a negative 1 in this case, it automatically goes to the denominator. Those are rules we're going to learn in algebra, but just want you to get used to seeing that and then inputting it into the calculator. And as you guys know, 12 squared is 12 to the second power. It's 144. The square root of 64, I'm going to activate the square root here with this key here, and then hit that 64, and my answer is going to be 8. Then we have a cube root. Remember, for cube root, we first have to put the 3, then activate that root, which is going to be the top one here with the up arrow, not this one here, because we need any root, right? And there it is. When I do that, I get that cube root, hit 64, and then I got 4. And check out when I did the square root of 64, right? This is just square root. The answers are going to be different. Square root of 64 is 8, but the cube root of 64 is 4. Now let's try G and H here. These are going to be different inputs, so you have several things going on. It's like a sentence or an expression. So let's go ahead and begin with our 3 squared. It's going to be 3. There's my shortcut key. Plus 12 to the 4, so 12, up arrow, 4. Move to the right because you got to input in the right place there. That's going to be now minus. Open up parentheses. Now we have a square root, so do second and square root. There it is. Hit your 64. Actually, no, I'm sorry, 16 in that case, right? There's your 16. And then minus a 0.4. And you close your parentheses and hit enter. And there it is. We have 20,741.4 for that one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. It's going to be 5 squared. So here we go, 5. Really easy shortcut to the square there. Minus 3 to the 0 power. Remember, you have to go up arrow here and then hit that 0. Move to the right and then hit the minus. Open up your parentheses. Now we have a cube root, so we have to tell it first the 3. And then second, and then the any root or the up arrow will give you that cube root. And then I hit that 27. I have to move over to the right. If you notice, it's going to start writing inside of the root. If I write anything else, you see how that's still in the root. So we have to be careful. Move over to the right. Do minus 0.4. Close that parentheses. Hit enter. And the answer will be 21.4. So this will get better with time. But the main thing is you can benefit from knowing what these keys are doing. We talked about the different keys in this section. We have our square key and our root key, our square root key. That's where you can find that one, and you know the functions that they do. One is just to simply raise it to the second power, and the other one is to square it. Now, the up arrow allows us to raise to any power, including 0, and we found out that 0, anything to 0, it's equal to 1. And then this second function allows us to put any root, but we're going to focus on that cube root. So we said that to do that, we have to always see it's clear and everything there. Let me go ahead and do second and what are we going to do here? Quit. Second quit. There it is. And so let's go ahead and just remind you that to do that cube root, you always put that 3 first, then the second, and then remember it has to be this key here, right? It has to be the up arrow key to give you access to the any root. Input your root there now and then get your answer. I hope this was helpful. You guys keep on rocking. See you guys soon. Thanks for your time.